really struggling, but he and I never had any problem in that area. We were both very physically.
It was supposed to be an ordinary, uneventful morning in Robyn Brown's Flagstaff home. The kind of day where nothing changes, nothing breaks, nothing reveals itself. TLC had sent a small crew to quietly gather beer wall footage for a future. Recap some mundane shots of Robyn sipping her herbal tea on her plush leather sectional, humming softly, gazing out the window. The producers expected more of the same. Robyn, composed, serene, faithful, the ever-devoted wife. But what they captured that day changed everything. What no one, not even Robyn, realized was that her microphone was still live. She lounged, cradling her signature teacup and talking to her older sister Kendra on speakerphone. Her tone began to shift. That gentle, soft-spoken cadence. Gone, replaced by something cold, crisp, cutting. Cody's still pretending he's drowning in the money stuff. She muttered, stirring her tea slowly. Please. He signed off on the reorganization. Then, with an icy chuckle, and Janelle still thinks she has a legal claim to that Coyote Pass property. It's pitiful. Off camera, a producer froze. Had she just admitted on record that she and Cody conspired to push Janelle and Mary out of the family's financial holdings? Robyn's voice dropped further, laced with venom dressed up as faux concern. I just wish they'd all go away, she whispered. Bless their hearts. But they can't even take care of their kids, or their marriages, or their finances. She laughed again, but it wasn't the laugh fans were used to. It was sharp, hollow, almost mocking. The crew knew instantly. This wasn't background filler. This was explosive. When TLC executives reviewed the footage, silence blanketed the editing suite. This wasn't just a private opinion caught on tape. This was manipulation, calculated, cruel, and most of all, undeniable. The network was divided. Air it. Bury it. Robyn had long been painted as the peaceful victim in the family saga. Was TLC willing to torch that narrative? Before they could decide, it leaked. A tired editor, drained from weeks of spinning chaos, into TV-friendly clips, forwarded the raw footage to an old friend, a contributor at a well-known scandal blog. Within hours, the internet detonated. Hashtag Robyn exposed. Hashtag sister-wives scandal. Hashtag Mike was still on. Social media exploded with outrage. Janelle saw the clip when her son Logan sent it to her. Sitting alone in her small Flagstaff rental, she watched in. Silence. Her face didn't change. Her hands didn't move. After the video ended, she simply placed the phone face down on the table, her eyes fixed on nothing. 10 long, crushing minutes passed. She didn't say a word. Mary was in Utah attending a women's leadership retreat when she got the news. Her first reaction, laughter, short, sharp disbelief. Then tears. For years, she had believed in Robyn. She thought Robyn was just lost, maybe misguided, but not cruel, not like this. That illusion shattered instantly. That night, Mary posted a cryptic message to Instagram. A wolf in sheep's clothing is still a wolf, even if she weeps. The comment section erupted. But it wasn't just about Robyn anymore. It was about the end of a dream, a family, a legacy. I think something sacred, undone by whispered lies and years of favor masked as fairness. Cody, of course, dismissed it all when producers showed him the leak. She didn't mean it like that, he insisted, flustered and red-faced. You're twisting her words. But behind closed doors, he was furious. Not at the crew. Not even at the leak, at Robyn. Not for the betrayal. Deep down. Maybe he had always known, but for how exposed it made him look. Weak, puppet-like, controlled, and worst of all, fake. What cut the deepest wasn't even her words. It was her casual suggestion afterward. The one no one was supposed to hear. Just act heartbroken, she told him. They'll believe it more if you look like you're grieving. And with that, the man who once commanded a family of 20 dissolved into a shell, a husk. Man wandering his own home like a stranger. He began sleeping in the guest room again. The silence between them was no longer awkward, it was final. And the children, Aurora, usually fiercely protective of her mother, broke down on camera in a rare moment of raw emotion. "Why did you say those things?" she sobbed. "When you say you love the family, do you mean it?" The ton, who had long retreated from public life, agreed to a short interview. His words were clear, steady, final. "The world's finally seeing who my mom really is. When the cameras are off, she's someone else." And then, just when the dust seemed ready to settle, another bomb dropped. A never-before-seen clip from season 18 leaked. Another hot mic. Another moment TLC had tried to bury. Robyn. Speaking privately to a producer, "I just want Christine to stop tearing it all down. Mary, I wish she'd just let go. Janelle, she needs to realize she never belonged." Each sentence cloaked in concern, delivered with a smile, and each one venomous beneath the surface. Viewers didn't hold back this time. "This is what manipulation looks like with a script," one fan tweeted. "She's not misunderstood. She's just exposed." And finally, TLC cracked. A statement was issued. "In the spirit of transparency, previously unreleased footage has been verified and will be included in upcoming episodes." Translation: no more edits, no more cover-ups. No more tears getting the final word. Robyn's mask had slipped, and the network wasn't going to hide it anymore. Then, the twist no one saw coming. TLC announced a brand new spin-off. Tell-all unscripted. The truth behind Sister Wives, a raw, unfiltered, no-holds-barred expose of everything that happened behind the scenes. The pain, the power plays, the betrayal. Robyn refused to participate. Cody hesitated. But Mary and Janelle, they were in. "You want the truth?" Mary told producers. "We lived it, and we're done protecting lies." Even Christine returned. When she stepped on set, the air shifted, her expression unreadable. Her presence a quiet storm. The set was stripped bare. No cozy couches. No soft lighting, just hard chairs. Plain walls, harsh lights. Nothing to soften the truth. TLC called it a raw environment. But to the
it's the emotional connection, the physical connection, and the spiritual connection that happens.
Yeah.
You know you have it with her, right?
No.
You don't.
She was already in her chair when the cameras began to roll. Mary's posture was relaxed, but her eyes, they told another story, sharp, guarded, like a lioness who had been wounded too many times. Waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Not in rage, but in truth. Beside her, Janelle sat stiffly, arms folded tight across her chest. She hadn't said a word, but the way her jaw clenched, the way her eyes refused to blink, spoke volumes. Then Christine walked in. And the air changed. She wasn't the Christine of past seasons, the one who smiled through sorrow, who tried to patch broken things with quiet hope. This Christine wore red. Not a shade of anger, but power. Bold, unapologetic. The room fell silent. The moderator, seated cautiously between the couches, greeted her with a nod. "Thanks for being here, Christine." "I know this wasn't part of your plan." Christine offered a small smile. It was tired. "But real." "No, it wasn't." Then her voice grew steady. "But then I saw the video of Robyn." Everyone froze. Even the cameraman leaned in. The one where she called Janelle pathetic and said Cody was pretending to be heartbroken. That was it. That was when I knew I had to say something. Her voice didn't rise. It didn't tremble. But her hands trembled in her lap. For years I was told I was the problem. Too sensitive, too independent, not obedient enough. Christine's eyes scanned the room, then settled on Mary and Janelle. But it wasn't me pretending to be a victim while tearing this family apart from the inside. Mary's eyes began to glisten. Janelle looked away, not because she disagreed, but because she was reliving it. Christine continued, stronger now. We twisted ourselves into knots trying to keep things fair. But fairness died the day Cody walked into Robyn's house and never came back. Mary let out a sharp breath. Janelle nodded, slow, deliberate. No words, just understanding. And then came the dagger. Robyn used her tears like weapons. And we let her. But when she sat there, sipping tea, laughing at Janelle's struggles, that wasn't editing. That was her. Silence, raw, real. Devastating. The moderator looked stunned. But he asked the question everyone was waiting for. If Robyn were sitting here right now, what would you say to her? Christine turned to the camera. Her gaze didn't blink. Her voice didn't waver. Robyn, you lied. You lied to us. You lied to our kids. You lied to yourself. You held the sledgehammer, then cried about. The broken pieces, gasps echoed in the studio. Mary turned her head. Janelle closed her eyes, a tear escaping. This family breaking apart. You needed that. Because a united family. That was the one thing you could never control. Mary wiped her cheek slowly. Janelle reached across the couch and took Christine's hand. No words, just the soft clasp of survival. Then Janelle spoke, voice low but fierce. She never wanted sister wives. She just wanted Cody. And somehow, she got him at the expense of all of us. The Children Speak TLC didn't stop with the wives. They brought in the voices who had lived in the shadows. The adult Brown children. Gabriel, Janelle's son, sat tall, his expression unreadable. Mom tried, she really did. But Robyn had a way of making Dad turn on her. We all saw it over and over again. Then came Aspen, Christine's daughter. Robyn used to say, I just want peace. But we called them passive-aggressive. Prayers because behind closed doors, Ski was pulling every string. Key, then, the softest voice of all, Savannah. The youngest, the quietest, the forgotten. She sat in tears. All we ever wanted was to be treated like we mattered. But Robyn, she made sure only her kids got that version of Dad. The rest of us were just leftovers. Cody's collapse. An hour after the children's interviews wrapped, the air shifted again. Doc Cody arrived. Disheveled, rumpled shirt. Curls tied back without care. Bloodshot eyes. He walked onto the set with hesitation. A man no longer confident, but cracked. The moderator asked, You've seen the footage. You've heard everything. What do you have to say? Cody stared. At the floor, I didn't want to believe it. Even when I saw it, I told myself there had to be more. That it was taken out of context. He finally looked up. His face was hollow. But she lied, not just to me, to everyone. Janelle's mouth parted slightly in disbelief. Mary leaned back, shaken. She said she was being attacked, that I needed to protect her. I didn't even know I already had. Christine's voice cut through the air like a blade. And now, Cody sighed. Now, I'm not even sure I ever knew who I married. Behind the scenes, after the cameras shut off, the crew packed up. No lights, no scripts. No performances. Just Mary, Janelle, and Christine alone, off camera, for the first time in years. Mary spoke first. We let her tell the story for too long. No more, Janelle replied. Christine nodded. Let them sink in their lies. Ours is out. Now, and finally, people get it. The three women stood, tired, raw, but united. They stepped into the Arizona sun together, not as cast members, not as Cody's wives, as survivors. The last straw 3 days later, Robyn resurfaced. No PR team, no TLC special, just an Instagram live, sitting on her bed, bare-faced, puffy-eyed. I don't even know where to start. She sniffled. That video. It was edited. TLC twisted it. They made me the villain. Her voice broke, then hardened. All I ever wanted was peace. I loved Mary. I loved Janelle. Then came the deflection. Christine never accepted. Me, they shut me out. They were vicious to my kids. But the internet didn't bite. Within 12 hours, Robyn's live had over 2 million views, and not the kind of views she wanted. No apology, no accountability, just denial. Worse. Own daughters had something to say. A TikTok account appeared. At TR Ruth from inside Robyn's teenage daughter Brianna had uploaded a grainy audio clip. "I'll cry on TV again if I have to. People eat that up. They'll never turn on me." Then came Aurora. "I don't know how much longer I can pretend. Pretend that I love my mom. She talks behind everyone's back, Christine, Mary, even Dad. But when the cameras are on, she becomes someone else. I don't even know who she really is anymore." The aftermath: Robyn's Instagram disappeared. All comments disabled, live deleted, gone. Then a final quiet blow. TLC removed her cast title. No more family peacemaker. A leaked email from inside production read, "We gave her every chance. This isn't editing anymore. When your own children speak out, that's not a storyline. That's the truth finally catching up." And then, in a final moment, never meant to air. Cody, unaware his mic was still hot, whispered to a producer, "She lied to me too. I don't know how I get over this. Not even sure I want to. Narration script, the women rise, the final chapter tone, emotional, cinematic, liberating, reflective music cue, slow piano build. With cinematic strings rising softly beneath. Opening scene, a golden Utah sunset. Desert winds drift through dry grass. Narrator soft, slow. It was never supposed to end like this. Not with lawyers, not with Instagram lives, not with daughters whispering their truth into the cold glow of a camera, not with the silence that followed after years of noise, of chaos, of crying. Behind closed doors, but sometimes when the dust finally settles, you realize it was never really love that kept it all going. It was the lie and the fear of living without it. And now, that lie is gone. Cut to Christine's backyard in Utah. Janelle, Mary, and Christine stand shoulder to shoulder. The wind blows. They're not smiling, not yet, but there's peace. Narrator: Christine, Janelle, Mary. They once shared a home, a faith, a husband. They once sacrificed their identities, their dreams, and their voices for the promise of a forever family. But that family was a facade, and when it fell piece by piece, it revealed something none of them expected. They were stronger apart because the truth had finally found its way in. Cue slow zoom on Christine's face. Her eyes are tear-filled, but focused, resolute. Christine voice clip: "We weren't broken, we were bound. But now we are unbound." Soft piano continues. Montage of the three women walking into the desert sunset together. Narrator: It began with a video one never meant to be seen. Robyn caught off guard. Her words cruel, her tone exposed. Not the peace-loving wife, not the misunderstood sister wife, but a woman, wielding manipulation as easily as a smile. She laughed at Janelle's pain. She dismissed Mary's loyalty. And she orchestrated the fall of a family, then wept as if she were the victim. But the cameras kept rolling, and the mask didn't just slip, it shattered. Cut to silent images of Aurora and Brianna's confessions. Their faces lit, only by the light of their phones. Narrator: And when her own children spoke, the world listened. They weren't angry. They weren't cruel. Tired of pretending. Tired of being pawns. It's tired of protecting the very person who used their love as a shield. And then there was silence. Robyn vanished. More statements. No more apologies. No more tears to weaponize. Just quiet. Cut to courtroom sketch. Cody sits with head in hands. Narrator: Cody's silence came too. Once the loudest voice in the room, now hollow. In his final TLC interview, he was barely recognizable. The bravado gone. The rehearsed rants replaced with remorse. CODY voice clip, subdued, I pushed away the people who sacrificed everything. For me, all for a conception of love that wasn't there. Cut back to Utah, Christine, Mary, and Janelle seated in Christine's kitchen. They're laughing, real, unguarded laughter. Narrator, but this story was never about Cody. It wasn't about Robyn. It was about the women who survived them. Christine, who broke free and built a new life where she was cherished. Janelle, who reclaimed her voice, her worth, her future. Mary, who, after years of spiritual abandonment, finally chose herself. And together, they rose. Cut to the final scene. The three women standing in a desert field at golden hour. The light hits them softly. The wind lifts their hair. Christine, voice clip. Everything was lost. Janelle, voice clip. But we're free now. Mary, voice clip. And at last, we're whole. Music swells. Pause, then silence. Narrator soft. No longer sister wives. Now, sisters in strength. They don't ask for permission anymore. They don't wait to be heard. They speak, and the world finally listens. And while Robyn fades into the shadows of the story she once controlled, the real story begins. Here, in the desert, in the truth, in their own voices. And for the first time in a very, very long time, they are finally free. End scene. Fade to black. Music fades out with final piano note echoing. Narration script. The rise of truth. The collapse of Robyn Brown. And the birth of something new. It began like any other quiet segment on Sister Strong. Christine, Janelle, and Mary had gathered in South Utah for a healing retreat. 1. They were hosting, not filming. But TLC was there, rolling cameras gently in the background, hoping to capture the quiet power of healing in motion. The landscape was calm, sun-warmed sandstone underfoot. The kind of clean air that makes you feel like something heavy has finally been lifted from your chest. It wasn't just a retreat, it was a reckoning. It's the event theme. Taking back your story. During a quiet Q&A, a woman in the crowd stood up. Nervous, shaky, but brave. What do you think of Robyn's book? And the girls Aurora and Brianna speaking out at the award special. For a moment, there was silence. Not out of awkwardness, but out of respect. Then Mary, never one to rush her words anymore, responded softly. You only have so much time to keep lying before the truth catches up. Janelle, standing beside her, nodded. Her voice, though soft, held steel beneath it. I'm proud of Brianna and Aurora. It takes real strength to walk through manipulation and still stand tall. Christine wiped away a tear, but this time it was a tear of pride, not pain. Those girls, they didn't just survive Robyn's world, she said, voice trembling. They're building their own now. Okay, we will support them every step of the way. Then came a simple, devastating visual. As the episode neared its end, the camera slowly panned across Christine's bookshelf. Framed photos of children and grandchildren filled the space. But tucked in the corner sat one untouched copy of Robyn's memoir. A yellow sticky note was slapped across the cover. One word, written in Janelle's handwriting, fiction. Off-camera, Christine gave a small, almost amused chuckle. Then Mary's voice was heard one final time, calm and resolute. Let's move on. Robyn's Last Stand, the YouTube channel that ended everything. 6 months of silence passed. The book had flopped. The daughters had turned away. TLC had cut ties. The nation had largely moved on. And then, quietly, Robyn Brown returned. But not through a publisher, not through a network, through YouTube. The channel was called Living in Love, Robyn Brown and My Journey to Truth. A carefully chosen name, soft branding. Gentle piano music, pastel backgrounds, flowers. Her banner photo showed her modestly smiling next to a quote, "Time is of the essence." Okay, and I'm ready to share mine. But it wasn't healing, it was damage control. Her debut video was titled They All Left Me. It was 12 minutes of weeping, excuses, and self-pity. She insisted the real her had never been seen. That TLC edited her into a villain, that the footage wasn't fair. The video gained nearly 1 million views in 24 hours, but it also racked up 112,000 dislikes. Comments flooded in, still no accountability. Robyn, we saw the raw tapes. Wasn't editing, it was you. The mask is gone. You just don't know how to live without it. Robyn made her final mistake, the unintended upload. The leak that shattered her image forever. Robyn tempted to post a behind-the-scenes vlog of her journaling setup and video process. But instead of uploading the edited cut, she accidentally uploaded an unedited 45-minute video. What it included: voicemails, screen recordings, private audio memos. She deleted it within 38 minutes, but it was far too late. The internet doesn't forget. Fans downloaded it, re-uploaded it, and dissected it. And what they found wasn't just shocking, it was chilling. The leaked voicemails. Robyn unmasked voicemail number 1. To Cody, you promised to take care of me. Cody, you said you'd never leave me hanging. But now that things got ugly, you're walking away. You let them destroy me. I gave you 10 years. I let those women humiliate me on national television so you could be the hero. And now you're renting a place while I rot in this house? Oh me, if you don't fix this, TLC's going to hear my side, and I'll burn it all down. It wasn't just desperate. It was threatening, manipulative. Cold, the mask was gone. Voicemail number 2. To TLC, strange how my raw footage made it into the final cut. You want drama? You'll get it. Don't act like Christine's the only one playing games. I made this show. I kept the ratings up. The tears sold, didn't they? Well, now I've got receipts too. A veiled threat. Not emotional, strategic. Secret audio note. Likely meant only for herself. Everyone despises me. Even my daughters. What if the crying doesn't work this time? Should I pretend to have a breakdown? Would TLC notice? Should have been safe. I should have been safe. A whisper. But the entire world heard it. TLC responds with, the final blow. TLC issued 1 powerful sentence. Robyn Brown's personal content is not endorsed by TLC. We have no current production plans involving her. And then they aired a surprise bonus episode, Unmasked, behind the curtain of Robyn. It featured live reactions from Mary, Christine, and Janelle to the leaked footage. Christine didn't look shocked, just heartbroken. Janelle turned pale. Her hands clenched. Mary took a long breath. She always claimed to be the victim, Mary said, her voice tired. That was just her costume. And then Cody, sitting, alone, listening to the voicemails. No rant, no excuse. I thought she was real, he said. I thought Christine gave up on me. But the truth is, I lost her long before she left. He stood up and he walked off set. No final word. Just the sound of a man realizing too late what he had helped destroy. Robyn Brown gone from the spotlight. Robyn's channels vanished. Her book was pulled from shelves. Instagram deleted. No interviews, no statements. Just gone. One blurry photo surfaced months later. Robyn working quietly at a small Utah boutique under a different last name. No makeup, no glam. Just a woman who lost everything. The future belongs to the daughters. Then came TLC's most unexpected damned revolutionary move yet. An 18-second teaser. 2 young silhouettes in the Utah sky. Piano music. Then the title, Breaking the Pattern, a 6-part limited docuseries. Aurora and Brianna Brown telling their story. In their words, no filters, no script. Christine, Janelle, and Mary would join as special guests. TLC confirmed. This is a series about healing, truth, and rising above the legacy of silence. The final frame as the teaser played, the last shot lingered. Christine, Janelle, and Mary stood together in golden hour sunlight, wind in there, hair, arms loosely around each other. Everything was lost, Christine said. But now we're free, added Janelle, Mary looked up at the sky. And at last, we're whole. Now, it's your turn. What do you think of the most explosive chapter yet? The downfall of Robyn Brown. The rise of the daughters. The strength of women reclaiming their voice. Leave your thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe, because this isn't just a story of betrayal. It's the rebirth of truth. The beginning of the end. The footage that changed everything. It was supposed to be just another quiet morning in Robyn Brown's Flagstaff home. TLC was capturing what they called ambient B-roll, soft shots of the house, of Robyn sipping tea on her sectional sofa. It's polished, composed, serene. The Robyn viewers had come to expect. But this time, something unexpected happened. Something raw. A moment that wasn't meant to be heard, but was. Her microphone was still live. Unaware, Robyn spoke with her sister Kendra. And what spilled out was not the soft-spoken, loyal wife TLC had framed for years. What they captured was chilling. Robyn, sneering, mocking Janelle's financial ruin. Laughing about how Cody signed off on the reorganization that left Janelle and Mary legally cut out of the Coyote Pass property. It wasn't just gossip. It was confirmation of manipulation. Cold, calculated, cruel. When the footage leaked, it tore through the internet like wildfire. #RabbinicsPost trended in hours. Fans weren't just shocked, they were angry, because this wasn't speculation anymore. It was proof. Janelle, Mary, Christine. The heartbreak and the awakening. Janelle saw the clip from her son, Logan. She didn't scream, she didn't cry, she just went silent. And stayed that way for 10 minutes. Mary, away on a retreat, laughed in disbelief, then cried. She'd always believed Robyn was just confused. Naive. She was wrong. Christine. She came. Back. That moment when Christine returned to TLC for a new taping shifted the earth. She didn't come with bitterness, but she came with truth. And when the moderator asked her what finally pushed her to speak out, she didn't flinch. I saw the video, I heard what Robyn said, and that was it. Together, Christine, Mary, and Janelle stood in what TLC later called the Reckoning Room, a bare studio. No set, no lighting, no staged warmth, just truth. Christine's words pierced the air. We twisted ourselves into pretzels trying to make it work. But justice died the day Cody left Robyn's house and never came back. Janelle added she never wanted sister wives, just Cody and Mary. She didn't say much. She didn't need to. She felt it. The children speak out. The voices TLC never aired. That's when the adult children came forward. Gabriel spoke softly, haunted. Mom did her best. But Robyn made Dad turn against her. Aspen, Christine's daughter, didn't hold back. She used to say, I just want peace. But behind the scenes, she was manipulating everything. We called it passive-aggressive wishes. And Savannah, she wept. All we wanted was to be treated the same. But she made sure only her kids got the good version of Dad. We were the leftovers. And then Dayton,